acting insane. Calm down.
Oh, I'm insane!
Hey. I love you too.
With a super dick like that, my God.
It's probably not that super. His dick.
Another day in the life of the Justice Gang.
I almost hit Spider-Man. I mean, Superman.
I beg your pardon.
If you look through my movies playlist, you will see I did a trailer review and a movie review for that movie.
Liar!
So it's confession time. It's time to confess. It's time to be honest. So a few months ago, I did a video reacting to the Superman trailer where I kind of give my thoughts and predictions and ideas about what the new movie was going to be like. After I did that, I went to the theater when the movie came out. I watched the movie, and then I watched it again when it came out on HBO Max. Then I took notes in my phone in the Notes app, wrote a couple of notes, wrote a few ideas, wrote a few questions, wrote a few theories, all this stuff. And then the Supergirl trailer came out not too long ago. I went, watched that video, did another trailer reaction, and then in that trailer reaction video, I stated that I did a movie review for Superman. After I did that video, I went to find the link for the Superman video so I could put it in the comments or in the description. And I'm looking all through my channel, through the playlist, the movies playlist, and I can't find the Superman movie review. And that's when it hit me that I never did it. I never made a video giving my reaction, thoughts, review of the Superman movie. So I'm literally the last person to put out a video reviewing the Superman movie. So if you're watching this video, I really appreciate it. I cannot believe that I just completely forgot to do this. So I'm doing it now. Like I said, I was going to do it. Better late than never, I guess. So let's, I guess I got to go back to my notes from almost a year ago. But what I will say about this movie is that I did enjoy it. Like, it was a fun, action-packed, emotional, and even intense comic book movie, and I enjoyed it. Like, at this point, James Gunn is one of those directors when it comes to this genre category of movie where he's really good at this. Like, legitimately one of the best at doing these types of movies. And he hasn't missed yet. Like, not even close to missing. I really liked the scenes where there were long, continuous shots and there was action in the background. Like, in the foreground, you would see either Superman and Lois talking or something else going on. But then in the backdrop, you can see like an incredible action sequence that's kind of out of focus because it's so far away. But I enjoyed watching that. I feel like it keeps you engaged in the scene while being like, okay, there's still stuff going on. Like, I know we need to focus here, but what are they doing back there? Like, there's a little bit of chaotic craziness that happens in this movie that I enjoyed, and it's a very creative style for James to use in these movies. And something that I love that a lot of superhero movies, like Marvel's doing this also, but like we all remember the Fox 21st Century X-Men movies where they were all in black leather and there wasn't a lot of color on the screen. It was just a lot of darkness, a lot of gray. Even with the Snyder Cut movies, it's not a lot of color. With this movie, very vibrant, very colorful, like a comic book. Like if you read a comic book, you want it to stand out. You want the colors to pop because it keeps your attention. And that's what this movie does. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys something. About 90% of you guys that watch this video are not subscribed to the channel. Don't be a weirdo. Subscribe to the channel. Don't be part of the 90%. Be a part of the 10%. And let's get that 10% to 90%. So 90% of you guys that are watching are actually subscribed. That would help me out a lot. Cost you nothing. It's free and I'd appreciate it. James Gunn is great at world building. Like, Metropolis is a fully functional, breathing world that has been dealing with this type of stuff, like with aliens and monsters and gods, all these things. There's other superheroes or supervillains. This isn't new to them. They've been dealing with this, so they kind of know how to react to it. And we're coming into this world and kind of like joining it already, as it's going on. Like as the world turns, we're just kind of jumping into it. The world doesn't start turning when we start watching it. Like these things have already been happening, and I like that. I like that we just jump into an already alive, thriving world. And when it comes to the world building, there's already characters like the Justice Gang, like Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, the Hawk Girl, Crypto the dog, even Lex Luthor. Like there are so many characters that we don't really have to dive into their backstory too much to care about them, and they all have something important to do, and they all matter. Even the minor characters, even the woman that was Lex Luthor's girlfriend, even though it didn't seem like her character mattered at the beginning, it was more of like comic relief, but towards the end it was like, okay, that person actually matters. We needed this character in this movie for this movie to work. And once again, when it comes to James Gunn, he is great at making ensemble movies where every character has a place. There's not just a character that's thrown in for nothing. Like Superman saves a man, and eventually we see that man again get tortured. Or spoiler alert if you haven't seen Superman from last year, but the guy gets taken to the open portal dimension and gets killed because Superman doesn't want to, give up the goods. Like that guy mattered, even though he was just in the movie for like 2 minutes. He was a big deal, and that was a big turning point in the movie. And one of the reasons why I've kind of been one of those people that's not super like high on Superman is that I don't always feel like he has a struggle or he has to overcome anything because he's Superman. Like Superman, Man of Steel, faster than the speed of light, can do everything. Laser eyes, frozen breath, whatever you need from Superman, he has it. And in this movie, Superman didn't really feel super until the end of the movie. Like they were like at the beginning of the movie, he's getting smoked. He's losing a lot of fights. And then you realize Lex Luthor is a capable villain. He is smart enough to go toe-to-toe with Superman because he was able to clone Superman. He made a legit clone of the strongest being on the planet. Like, think about what we're talking about here. He made that. He found a pocket dimension. He has aliens captured, an alien that could create the power of the sun with his bare hands. Like, that is how smart Lex Luthor is. Like, Lex Luthor's brains are as strong as Superman's muscles. Think about how powerful that is to have that kind of ability. You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat. Not a threat, a warning. But it could be a threat. Just do it. And there were a lot of interesting aspects to this movie that a lot of superhero movies don't really touch on. Outside of Spider-Man with the J. Jonah Jameson character, they don't really show like how the news and social media depicts how people view what the heroes are doing. I think they kind of touched on that a little bit in Captain America Civil War after they messed up that mission at the beginning. And it's like, yeah, we know you guys messed up, but do you know how the people feel about this? The people are very upset about what you did. You came to their country and jacked it all up. Some people got really hurt. Some people died. The idea of people getting on social media and being in public and voicing their displeasure towards superheroes is something that I like to see in these movies. Like, that's realistic. That's real life. Like, if I was sitting here doing this video and freaking Thor chucked their car or threw his hammer through my window and busted my window and broke my TV, I'd be pissed. Like, yeah, thank you, Thor, for being here and saving the planet, but dog, I gotta call insurance companies to deal with this. Nah, man, I have an issue with this. Hashtag cancel Thor. That's me. I'm doing that, and I love Thor. That you broke my TV? Come on, bro. Yeah, so the idea that they showed that in this movie, I thought was pretty cool. And speaking of Thor, you can kind of see, it's not a kind of, you can legitimately see the difference between how someone makes an animal comic relief versus running a gag into the ground when it comes to Crypto in this movie and say the goats in Thor Love and Thunder. Like with Crypto was comic relief, but still had we still had an emotional attachment to that character based on what happened to the dog at the end, where it's like, oh, okay, this dog is actually in danger. We care about this dog. We want this dog to be saved. Whereas with the goats in Thor, it was just whenever we see the goats, they're screaming. We see the goats, they're screaming. We see the goats, they're screaming. It's just a one note. Let's just keep hitting that same note every time, all the time, every time we see him. And it's like, okay, we get it. With Crypto, yeah, he was annoying. Yeah, he was a quote unquote rambunctious or bad dog. But there were also moments of playfulness, of emotional attachment that made us care about him towards the end of the movie. Because say in Thor Love and Thunder, they do the same thing with those goats where at the end, say in the final battle, Gore the God Butcher just lops off their heads. As an audience, we don't care about those goats. We're annoyed with those goats. We're probably standing up in a theater and cheering when those goats die. Because they didn't make us care about the goats. They just hit the same note with those goats the entire movie. James Gunn was able to have a better balance with these non-human characters. And even with the message that Superman's original parents gave him about, coming to Earth and getting a bunch of wives and populating the planet to rule over it, there was a part in the back of my mind because I always felt like Superman's parents wouldn't do that. They wanted him to be good, to be the savior, to be a protector. And the idea that they kind of flipped it on his head and be like, no, Kryptonians are kind of assholes. They feel like they're better. They know that they're better than regular humans, and they're here to take over. That was an interesting way to explain his kind of backstory / origin. But it also would have been nice to kind of see how Clark Kent was raised by his parents. It's a thing where it's like, yes, you have these superpowers, these super abilities, but who raised you? How were you brought up? How were you taught to use these gifts that you had? How were you molded as a person? Because you can almost envision what Clark Kent would have been like had he been raised by his original parents, as opposed to how he was raised by his adopted parents. That's a little minor nitpick, not a big deal, but that's just something I kind of noticed in that it would have been cool to see like one or two scenes where it's like his dad, explain to him, like kind of like the scene in The Incredibles where the kid, the fast kid is trying to win the race. And it's like, okay, you try your hardest, but don't, embarrass everybody, but don't like loaf off, but you want to kind of make it competitive, make it close. And kind of the same thing with Superman Clark Kent with his dad. Just be like, yeah, you have these powers, but don't abuse that. But all in all, Superman, awesome movie. Every time I think about it, I enjoyed what I saw, how I experienced it. I'll probably watch it again. Super easy rewatch ability when it comes to that movie. And like I said, James Gunn is great at what he does when it comes to making superhero ensemble comic book movies. And if you haven't already, I would recommend watching Peacemaker. He's in charge of that. Like season 1 was great. Season 2 is more in line with Superman. Like the characters, storyline, and some of the themes and plot lines kind of bleed over into Peacemaker season 2. And there's another show, there's another show, Creature Commandos, that's on HBO Max that James Gunn is in charge of also. That also has something to do with Peacemaker and Superman, so it's all kind of connected, which I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the connectivity of all these TV shows and movies and how, yes, you have to see them all and yes, they all matter, but it's like a thing where they stand on their own until they're brought into the next thing. Like Superman is its own thing, and then Peacemaker 2 is its own thing, but they kind of have some carryover from Superman. So, yeah. Sorry for not putting out this video, 6-7 months ago. Jesus Christ. It's my kids, I'm sorry. But yeah, go see Superman if you haven't. It's on HBO Max. Watch Peacemaker season 1 and 2. Watch Creature Commandos, and shout out to James Gunn. He's awesome, awesome. So, peace.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.